Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Friday, January 24th, 2025, pre-market report. People, before I even get started, I want to warn you all as to what is being set up right now. And I don't know another way to put this other than we are going to see a direct, and we're seeing it already, attack on the Constitution of the United States, specifically the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment, and the 22nd Amendment. If you're not familiar with these things, I would strongly suggest that you bring yourself up to speed. Very dangerous game is being set up here. And unfortunately, I don't expect there's going to be a lot of pushback here. In fact, I believe there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be willing to go along with this. Okay, let's fundamentally change what the United States has stood for since its inception. Again, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment, and the 22nd Amendment. This is what you support. Well, again, that you're going to get what you want. If you do not, well, then I suggest you start taking action, people. Now, with that, there is also another game that is being set up right now. What am I talking about? Okay, let's backtrack just a bit. We understand that this just happened. Not only did this just happen, we heard from Trump that central banks of the world should be lowering rates here. You also understand this is exactly what we do not need. We need higher rates to support the purchasing power of the currency. This is a mechanism to, again, help, in this case, the Federal Reserve destroy the purchasing power of the currency. Central banks collectively are in a race to the bottom to see who can suck the purchasing power out of their currency faster. It's a mechanism to continue to pressure the middle class and bring the world economy to its knees, period. Period, the end. It's also potentially going to push more cash into risk assets. And I say potentially because I've been telling you over the past few days, before this even came up, because we all knew that Trump was going to play the game. That is, called for lower rates. And many of you didn't believe it was going to happen, but here it is. Okay. Um, this is massively, again, destructive for the people of the middle class, the economy, and we're being restructured on an economic basis and with regard to the backbone or the foundation of our nation. Things are being changed as well, and I fear greatly that this is just the beginning of where we're going unless people start taking action. I don't expect they're going to because they never do, unfortunately. But anyway, what I want you guys and girls to be very aware of here is this. There, right now, behind the scenes, what's being set up with regard to the Federal Reserve and Trump here is what we have already said. We already called the first part of it. We nailed this to the wall. Okay. The second part of this is going to require a staged battle between the Federal Reserve and Trump. Okay, Trump is calling for lower rates. The Fed is going to push back. And it's just a game. The Fed wants to, of course, lower rates. Every central bank wants to lower rates. It allows them to inflate. It allows them to devalue the currency. You understand? It allows them to obviously push more of their product on every single one of us. They have one product, central banks, it's debt. They've created a slave planet on the back of this and individual slaves to it. This is going to accelerate here moving forward with Trump's call for the Fed to cut rates immediately. Now, here's what I see going on here. The Fed has been in the process already of cutting rates, which is, of course, their goal, every central bank. What's going to happen here at the next FOMC meeting, one of two things, or maybe even three. Let's talk about this real quick. Either the Fed is going to pause to set up a very powerful argument between Trump and the Fed. They're boneheads. They're idiots. They're imbeciles. Whatever word he's going to use, he likes to use these kind of expletives here. Okay, and it's just a game because eventually the Fed is obviously going to cut rates. So the Fed may actually pause to set this whole thing up. If they don't pause and they cut, let's say 25 basis points, Trump's going to say it's not enough. So however it works here, they're setting up a game. The Fed obviously is in love. I don't know another word. Of the prospect of here a sitting U.S. president calling to lower rates because this is what they want to do anyway. They're in the process of doing it. This is, again, a method, a very dastardly thing to rob us. This is theft. I don't know how to put it. This is grand theft on an unimaginable scale. When the currency has its purchasing power stolen from it, it robs you blind. And you have to work harder and longer, again, to earn more devalued dollars to make ends meet. This is pressure that is going to be put more on the middle class here. You understand what I'm talking about? Now, the prospect here, another thing that came up was this executive order yesterday. President Trump here, let me just read this to you real quick. So, and I ran a poll. Trump just signed an executive order making crypto accessible to banks and as a strategic reserve. Does this make you trust crypto more or less? Now, because Trump did do this, 44% of you said that now that Trump has done this, you definitely trust the cryptocurrency more. 56% of you said that you never trusted it and you never will. Now, I expect that these numbers here, unfortunately, are going to flip. They're going to flip as the transition into this new system is implemented. Now, this is a headline. Trump crypto from today. Trump crypto plans have Wall Street CEOs ready to jump in on digital assets. You and I have known for months that this was going to happen and must happen. It's a key component here, the merging of the Wall Street banks with cryptocurrency to allow this to make its way into the system, and people must become comfortable with it as we are bridged into the new system. This is going to take a while. This isn't going to happen overnight, although I think what we're seeing now is shockingly rapid. We knew this was going to happen, and I'm going to be honest with you. I did not see this now. I expected Trump to start to push this maybe in a month or two, not right here at the beginning of his second term here. So very interesting how this is playing out. And this is exactly what, again, Wall Street wants to see. A couple of things here. Obviously, lower rates. And this I don't like this. I'm a big crypto guy. You all know that. I would much rather us be returning into a constitutional money system, which we are not doing. Forget the Constitution. The Constitution is already being dismantled. Okay, again, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment, and the 22nd Amendment. Bring yourself up to speed. They think you're too stupid to do any research into this. Believe me. And they're going to work things under the table without you even knowing about it. That's what they do. And sometimes they just throw it right in your face. I mean, we called this because it was in our face. We knew why Trump got the job because of what he was saying during his last tenure here. Wanted negative rates then, low rates. And I still say we could potentially get negative rates here, which means you're going to have to pay the institutions to keep your cash in there. People, we're in a transition phase on a scale that really should shake you a little bit. And if people don't get together to change it, what you're about to see is going to get very dramatic. Now, right now, the stock market futures, they're lower, not much. We just hit a new record high for the S&P 500. This is what we, the Lions, wanted to see. We're waiting now for a pullback, to be maintained above the December high of 6,088, and then a move higher would be a good entry point here. It does appear that currency devaluation, artificially suppressed rates, is going to drive the market higher and create more distortions in the stock market, enriching the 1 and 2%ers, and you're going to pay for it by having the purchasing power of your currency stolen right from underneath you. On the back of that, you got the MMRI coming down slightly. We're still at 310.8. Keep your eyes on this. Keep your eyes on this, people. Again, it's free, 100%. There is a link in the description of this video. You got gold and silver this morning higher. Okay, but, what do we all know? Cash seeks yield. You got crypto, Bitcoin higher across the board. Imagine our shock here as we're being thrust into a system that we neither voted for or wanted. But it looks like, I mean, I was a little surprised about this poll here, that so many of you are thrilled about Trump's move with his executive order here. That's a pretty high percent of you. 44% are now more into crypto because Trump did sign this executive order on digital assets. Imagine, really. Things that are created out of nothing. I get it. Believe me, it's people, when are we going to wake up? When are we going to wake up that we need to be returned to a constitutional money system, and the games that are being played, and people falling right through the trap doors that are set for them? And I'm telling you, people, the Constitution of the United States is going to be rewritten. I'm going to say right now that there is an extremely high probability that the Constitution of the United States, as we know it right now, is not going to resemble what it's been since its inception. Something very, very dark is going on right now, and I don't think it's going to change. There's too few people who are going to stand against anything right now. They're going to allow things to happen to them, along with currency devaluation on a massive scale. This was currency devaluation. I explained to you at the end of last year was my number one call moving into 2025. How many of you would say that I nailed that one to the wall? I told you this was going to happen. I got massive pushback against this. Greg, you don't know what you're talking about. Trump is going to demand that rates go higher. He's trying to get rid of the Fed. What this does is make the Federal Reserve, in this case, much more powerful. And the fact that Trump called for central banks around the world to cut rates makes them all stronger. They all work together, central banks. They're not separate entities. They all talk to each other. They work in tandem. We, the people of the world, are being wiped out. We're being wiped out. And our way of life here in the United States is going to change so dramatically on the back of currency devaluation. And what we're going to see with regard to the U.S. Constitution, which is under attack. Under attack. I don't know another way to put this to you. You want to stand, are you a constitutional person? You believe in the Constitution of the United States? Well, then take action. If not, believe me, you're going to get what you don't ask for, because they're going to shove it down your throat in a massive way. It's crazy what we're about to see. It's such a terrible game that they're playing on the unknowing. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I don't know what to say, people. Look, man, I still say, from a financial standpoint, we got to continue to play the game. That is betting against the system. The global debt, including debts and deficits right here in the United States, are going to hyper balloon from here, allowing central banks to fulfill their end game, their goal to own it all. And it certainly appears that the Federal Reserve has chosen the right guy. Central banks around the world, I guess they all did, to bring about a currency devaluation on a massive scale, destroying the economy, only to rebuild it in a way that I guarantee you that you're not going to like. A system of control which is biblical. I don't know the way to put this to you. Okay, You guys and girls are going to get what you ask for or what you don't ask for. If you don't start to take action against what you're seeing here, you can only expect things to get dramatically worse for you specifically, unless of course you're a part of the 1% and 2% who all they want is control over you. I've been telling you all for years. We're going back to neo-feudalism. This is a new version of feudalism on a massive scale. And I sincerely believe what I'm about to say, because I've been telling you for years as well, that they are hell-bent, and I'm using that word purposely, on depopulating the world. We're going to see a mass loss of life here. We're going to see a scarcity of resources. We're going to see people suffer on a scale that you're not going to believe. As again, the Constitution of the United States is attacked, as the monetary system is taken apart, the economy taken apart here, only to bring about a completely new paradigm. I really hope you guys and girls are awake enough to see what I'm talking about. And I want to hear from you. Am I really out there? Should Greg just quit today? Or do you feel people know the truth when they hear it? In the words of Greg Hunter, a guy who I still respect and love and miss a lot. I really, really do. Greg, if you're listening to me, buddy, I really hope that I've already asked for whatever I've done to you, Greg. I've asked for forgiveness multiple times. I don't even know what I did, bro. But whatever it is, I hope you find it somewhere to reconnect here, because I think together we're stronger. We're all stronger together, people. You all know that. And I think if we don't start to take action against what we see, what we know is going to happen in our hearts, the world, and especially the United States, is going to be unrecognizable in a very short period of time. All right, guys and girls, I'm going to let you go. And again, I want to hear from you on these things. You think I'm right? You think I'm wrong? If I am wrong, okay, and I certainly don't know everything, really, tell me where I got it wrong. Again, we're stronger together. Instead of yelling, and let's see if we can come up with an actual dialogue here. Greg, you're wrong on this. You're right on this. This is what I see going on. And I promise to read the comments. I think that we have the power, you and I, to change things, okay? But we have to come together. We're already a conquered society. We've been divided and therefore conquered. If we can reestablish a connection with each other, wherever you may be, okay, we could change the world for the better. If not, believe me, the agenda that we know is in place is only going to manifest itself faster and much uglier. All right. Love all of you with all I got, people. I mean this from the heart. I want to hear from you again. Please comment. If you got something out of this video, if I've maybe said something that if I've earned your thumbs up, I would appreciate that. Share this stuff. Get it out there. Let's bring people together. All right. That's what we need. All right. Anyway, I'll see all of you later. 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern for the live stream. All right. Until we meet again, people, please take care of yourselves and each other. Okay.